Hi there, well thanks for waiting. This is part 3 of What If Kamen writer Genm was in RWBY. So let's start. Chapter 3, Names Ace Valiant. Beacon Academy, Ajban's office, morning. The morning still continues as the intense stare-down was intensified tenfold due to Ajban's ability to apparently silence the atmosphere around him and I. Fuck. Me and my stupid mouth. Let me catch you up quickly, in the canon RWBY gets yelled at by Weiss. So I being the dumbass I forgot to ask his name before I said his name when I wanted to solve the issue much earlier. Meaning. He's pretty suspicious of me that I know his name somehow. Now usually every FIC have their OCs get called out on their bullshit. Thus revealing their real names, Earth, blah blah this world is a show made for entertainment purposes. But, I totally knew he was going to ask me that question. Because this little guy, Arrow is my wingman okay and not in that way calm down. If I was in a gender-bended universe, well fuck me on a stick then, but still. I haven't seen any gender-bend characters so glad I'm on the original remnant. Yeah, is that what people call it? Now whatever, let's get this over with and be on my wall right I gotta mention my whole, how I transformed to a cool armored rider. Well, not armored, yet. I looked at Ajban with my blank face, hiding my sweat from behind. Remember to keep it calm and not let him see through you. Which is really hard keeping a plain look and a convincing soul when you're talking to Professor Ajban. Let's not fuck up once again, let's do this. Alright, perfect lying mode on. Do you really want to know? I asked by faking my caution look. Ajban raised one of his eyebrows. Yes? I slightly raised my head directly towards Arrow. Gently placing him from my head on my hands together. He's the one who told me your name. Ajban almost choked on his coffee when he took a sip. Weird, never seen that happen before but ha. That's hilarious. He fixed his glasses before raising a brow. Beg your pardon? Remember how I said we bond as if he's a pet and not a Grim? I said. He nodded. I continued with my explanation. Alright, let's go with this. I took a deep breath and said. Well, to put it short and simple. We can communicate with one another sometimes. Those events would be Arrow saying a word or a sentence. Like when you popped out of nowhere. Arrow nodded and squawked. You know what, Arrow? You're now my best buddy for backing me up. I'll get you a treat or something once this is due dash. Actually, Grims don't need to eat, right? Huh, well that's helpful in case I get lean sooner or later. He agrees as well if that's what you were asking. I totally agreed whatever Arrow just said. Ajban hummed while stroking his chin. That's quite new but, yet odd for a nevermore to be tamed. Perfect lying mode is like the most special thing to have when you're related to a family who can lie perfectly. I don't know why I call it that, it's just in my blood. I know it does. Believe me, it took me a while to get used to. I shrugged. Ajban laid there looking perplexed of this sudden fact. Very well then. Phew! I almost started sweating bullets right there. But alright, he believed it. So now, all I need to explain is how the gamer driver works. I could, but that would mean he would like a test, or maybe proof. And I don't have any evidence, proof, or witnesses to do so. It's going to turn a 180 once I do Ajban looks at the scroll's time. We may not have time to discuss further, he said. Saved by the clock, thank you so much. But, I have something to say that you'll need to consider choosing. Depends how well you do in the test. Ajban said. Oh boy. Is this where I can pick a team? With many new first years in, when you have just been accepted into Beacon recently. It's likely to say you'll need to choose a team once the initiation test is over. He said. I thought I could become like a leader of 2 teams. Going to need to get good if I can even be offered of a choice. Although there is an empty room in the dorm, you can live in by yourself. He finishes his brief explanation. A room just for me? Oh, you're too kind, Ashbin. I'm dead set on making it a big clean room. Probably might be lazy and dirty it. Anyways, yeah, hell yeah. Obviously Team RWBY. I know it's because he sees potential in me and interested in my gamer driver, but hey. Now whoever said life was easy? Alright, people who die in a stupid but also brutal way. Yeah, that's their fault. I nodded. Ah, I see, thanks for letting me stay here and for everything, Professor Ashbin. Ashbin waved it off. Not only will you stay, remember that in the upcoming years, you're going to become a wise huntsman, and as you say, a Kamen rider. He chuckled. More like just a semester, ha ha ha, I'm crying, my heart hurts remembering the tragedy in Volume 3. Feelings aside, I pointed my finger up in the air just like what Tendu does. Like my dad always says, keep moving into your path, never look back and always go towards your future. Never let anyone pull yourself down. Ashbin smiled at that. Now then, off you go. He kept making the shoe motion. Alright, I gotta go to where he tells everyone the long and boring motivating lines. Nodding, I turned the doorknob, opening it slowly, causing a creak sound. Sometimes I try to sneak out of my room to get snacks in the midnight. Usually, I'd get my butt hooped. Hate that. I turned around with a smile. Thank you, really. Ashbin only nodded. You know, he's a nice guy, naive yes, but it's nice to see the actual character in him. After I closed the door, I slid down, confirming that I'll be staying here until that happens. I'll probably deal with friendships, love, then everything crumbles in Beacon Academy due to her. I won't fail because I'm accepting my new responsibility. Beacon Academy, 5th floor, hallway. Phew, I actually had to take deep breaths from that atmosphere. Now let's just get on the elevator. Closes itself before I could finish that. The elevator had tapes crossed out, the words being out of use, maintenance. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I used the elevator once and it's closed down for some reason. And now I can't because it's in maintenance? Gotta be shitting me. How the hell am I gonna get down there without taking the stairs down? Let me tell you that I'm on the 5th floor of this building. Pretty sure it ain't that high, but let me be honest, I'll die if I try to jump down. At the end of the hallway, there's glass that shows the reflection of Arrow and I, taking some steps to look down. Holy shit, it's that high. A light bulb popped out of my head with a bright flashlight, grinning deviously with an evil smile. I looked at Arrow, he turned his head to me at the same time. You thinking what I'm thinking? I asked, still looking at the floor from all the way here. Arrow turned his head to see where I was pointing at. He squawked repeatedly and flapped its wings away from my shoulder. You're in this as well? I asked Arrow, with a devilish smile spreading me. He nodded and went ahead of me, waiting for the big showtime. I smirked. That's the spirit. Taking out my gamer driver out of nowhere, then slamming it on my waist, the two black ends make a sound of clicks. Along with my Proto Mighty Action X gas hat from my sleeve shirt's pockets, showing the rest of the other three still there. Pushing the gadget's lever down, causing it to cover the building around me with the same gray energy pulses. Mighty Action X. With the announcement, the catching jingle came, coming off the gas hat. The glass glowing, following the words one by one. The same holographic screen appeared behind me, following with blocks coming out of the screen. Grade 0. Gashet. Henshin. I yelled as I pulled the pink lever open. Gakken. Level up. Mighty jump. Mighty kick. Mighty. Action. X. Opening the screen showing my rider form and the hologram going through me, transforming into level 0 gem form. I look at the floating chocolate-like bricks and started punching one by one, hoping I'd find the right energy at AHHA. A light green metal that depicts a rider inflated into a ball, now floating in front of me. You'd think I wouldn't remember how exactly the energy items work? No, even though it was for display purposes from the show itself, it had some very interesting looks for each medal. Specifically, this one, remembering what it's actually translated to, it's balloon body. Meaning that I can probably become a bouncing ball for a few seconds, or so actually becoming a bouncing ball sounds like fun. But then Nora would. Oh nuahoho. My body shivered from the thought. Oh god, I'd lose more of my sanity then. Horrible nightmare aside. Let's go. Quickly taking the item in front of me, it circled to me, then my body absorbed it. Fusen ka. After absorbing it, I only have a few seconds before I become a rubber ball. I started to run towards the windows, to break once I ran to it. My body started inflating, turning into a round ball. That's actually pretty adorable seeing it like that. Since his mascot character is small. You'd think it was cool already. Whatever. I'm falling. Winds began to pick me up and I started seeing the blue skies and tons of students looking at me. Meh, they'll think I'm just a balloon. No big deal. Whoa! I yelled at the top of my lungs. Arrow flapped his wings, but in a faster pace downward, right beside me too. Beacon Academy, Main Avenue. Boing! Boing! That's the sound of your lazy hero bouncing up and down on the ground safely. Landing on top of his belly, just taking a quick relaxation moment, due to his reckless activity he just did. Well, that was fun while it lasted. I had a blast enjoying the breeze while falling. Yeah, I'll probably get nagged at by Glinda for breaking through the glass that are expensive, or so I think they are. Whatever. So, does this energy item run OU dash? Before I could finish my sentence, my balloon body made a fart sound the instant when going back into the same figure of level 0. Put. God, that fart sound actually raised my mood. Ha 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 ha. If only Emu or hell, any writer used that energy item, you know? Just for the laughs. I'm so mature for my age, fart jokes still get me. Balloon body's effect aside, maybe I can discover each and every energy items, possibly discover how each exactly they work. Time to time I'll get the gist of everything about M. Energy items aside, I need to de-henshin, now. So that people won't think I'm a bad guy. Because literally, Genm's colors are the black and evil lookish way, instead of Xade's adorable mascot. I meant by their game character. Whenever emus in level 2 form for Mighty Action X, it's like your average gaming nerd. While Genm's like, this isn't a game look. Closing back the pink lever covering the screen and gamer driver logo. Gotchin. After that, I pulled out my gas hat from the metal V-shaped slot. Gashin. Once done that, a bright light flashed showing white pixels fading away with my rider form, reverting back into the civilian form I always had. Honestly, it's pretty cool to see me transforming back into my usual form. Alrighty then, it's time to head off to the amphitheater if I remember correctly. Arrow flapped his wings, screeching. And there he is. On my right shoulder, probably dead from all that exercise. Beacon Academy, Amphitheater, afternoon. After taking a couple of steps, I can see a crowd of people was swarming in, each finding their friends, ones who prefer going alone. Most are gathering just being all happy-go-lucky. While Glinda's on stage, waiting for Ashbin to return. Oh god, that's a huge crowd. Remember when I mentioned shadow people? They actually have pretty cool weapon, like holy shit. Their fashion is so much better than mine. Okay, yeah, I admit, I'm jealous. If only someone else from Earth would see what they actually look like. That tall dude has a big axe, he has that cool Wolflone Man style going on. Right, there's a chick with a chainsaw. A chainsaw. Oh well, they're not really important anyway to the story itself. Moving my head back and forth, trying to found you two kiddos. It's Ruby and John, both who are still talking a little bit, till Ruby moved her head to see Yan and waved back. Looking at where Yang's spot is, it's big enough for 3 to 4 people in. Yeah, she saved her a spot of course, her spot is pretty goddamn open. Should have asked John if he wants to join, but I suppose he needed to be there, just there. Oh well, might as well introduce myself to John before he goes behind the 3 soon musketeers when Pyrrha is just right there. Nikos, or whatever ship name will happen when I'm here. I will make this ship happen. Swear by my oath. Or, just don't care about their whole feelings and let her die. Ouch, yeah alright. I know I may have sounded a bit too harsh, but remember. Pyrrha likes John, John being the dumbass and oblivious one asks her for advice to advance on Weiss. I might as well knock his senses out and get on with my life. 99 lives that is, ha. I'm great with puns. Oh don't me tell you didn't like it. Tough crowd. I started to walk casually, with both my hands on my head. You know something, it's quite the nice scenery here. This place sure looks be decorated nicel. Hey wait. John tried reaching towards RWBY, the latter going to Yang's spot. He slumps down great. He mumbles something that I already know what he's going to say. Where am I supposed to find another nice, quirky girl to talk to? I started taking big steps that are pretty loud to hear. He turns around with one of his eyebrow raised. I may not be a quirky girl, but taking out a fake mustache and an empty pizza box for comedy. I'm just the pizza delivery guy. I laughed. Arrow tilted his head as well. In front of me is a tall teenage boy with dark blue eyes that are emphasized by his short blonde hair messily layered on his head with the right side of his hair. He wears a white diamond-shaped chest plate cut off above his lower abdomen and white spalders with rear braces set under them. You work as a pizza delivery guy? He asked and pointed at Arrow. Is that a baby nevermore? Yes it is. I figured he was going to mention him. Oh, and don't mind him, he doesn't bite or peck anyone. John wiped away a few sweats from his face. Oh, is that so? You gotta be shitting me, he's scared of a little nevermore? Sigh. I covered my stomach holding my laughter. No, I'm not a pizza delivery guy, although I should order myself some. Removing the fake mustache and throwing away the empty pizza box to the trash. Ooh chooch. Didn't think this stupid little facial hair can be quite painful. John shook his head, but laughed as well. Oh wow, I didn't think it would be that easy to befriend him this early. Who am I complaining? That makes things much easier. He raises his head again and smiled. Oh, my name's John Ark. Short, sweet, ladies love it. Dude, I don't know who your mom is, but that's pretty hilarious to me when you can actually hear him say it in person. It's nice to meet ya, John. The name's Ace Valiant. I pointed my right thumb at myself, but you can just call me Ace. I jabbed my left thumb at Arrow, and this little guy is Arrow. Arrow just cawed and sent a salute. When he did just that, we both stopped and looked at him with both of our brows raised. Which also made John's jaw drop a bit. Ha, the more things I learn. So John, you know what we men know what women love? I asked, hoping to move to the topic for us men to discuss. He had a question mark on his head. Being a hero? Damn it, John. Nope, a gentleman. Such as I. I bowed respectfully and embraced my inner mentalgen. You have to treat ladies as if they were a goddess. I pointed at the sky. For some reason, a goddess appeared, well transparently, and touched my index finger. Who are you? She disappeared when our eyes met. John had a sweat drop on his head. Really? Yeah, I feel like smacking upside his head. Actually, I might as well be his big brother sooner or later. I shook my head. Yeah, really. Sigh, you'll eventually learn someday. Losing hope to convincing him this early. I'm not giving up, mind you, I'm just merely stating the fact that I can't do anything for now. Putting that aside, I might have caught RWBY's attention. Actually, oh never mind. Oh Ace. She waved and pointed out where she and Yang are. The latter wondered who she was waving and saw directly at me. She licked her lips while looking at my body. I need an adult. I feel like I'm being violated right now. Not gonna bother ignoring the fact that she's pretty bombing. Right next to Ruby is a fair-skinned young girl with purple eyes and bright golden hair worn loose that fades to pale gold at the tips with a cowlick sticking out at the top. She wears a tan jacket that bears her lower stomach, with golden brown piping and short, puffy sleeves with black cuffs that feature 2 gold buttons. Also, a brown belt covered by a pleated brown piece of material reaching from hip to hip around the back of her waist. Huh, to be invited over a threesome, what the hell, mind, what are you thinking? Ugh, ugh, I waved back and pointed one finger, basically saying 1 second. Ruby nodded. I sighed. Well, John, it was nice meeting you, but I gotta go. He waved it off. It's alright, can't refuse someone nice like her. I snorted. Got a point there. Alright, later, man. Raising my right arm straight, my right hand forming into a fist. At first, he was confused, but he knew what it was and we fist pumped. I am thou, and thou art I. You have formed a bond with John Arc, now he shall die for you. Man, my mind is a crazy bizarre one, it is. Making a 2-finger farewell to him. I started walking to where Ruby and her half-sister are, Yang. Can someone please get an adult? Glinda preferably. Yang's eyes are still staring dead at my muscular build. Wait, what? I pulled my shirt up to reveal my slight abs already reaching its peak. How did my body slightly get more muscular? So when I level up, my stats actually show the progress I make in due time? Awesome. Hi, I love being a writer already. Yeah, totally. It's definitely not because I didn't want to train my ASS or anything. Damn it, you got me. Well, yes, there's been some writer in other worlds where at first they are pretty much a straw, then months later they train. Get much more muscular and all. Get it? I love this gas hat already. It's too bad I can die easily though. Whoa! Yang said, whose nose started to bleed a little. Shit! Ruby apparently pushed her and looked where Yang was looking. Ruby! And oh. After she saw my pack, she started acting nervous, who tries to avoid any more look of my body. Her cheeks show a little bit of red on there. Okay, yeah, I feel like I've been cursed I say. I hate you, fate. Roll my love life already, damn it. Every girl started to look at me and started drooling a bit, however for the men. They got pissed, and so they slowly reached into their weapons but couldn't because Glinda stopped everyone by using her wand, or rather semblance. I quickly put my shirt down and sheepishly chuckled. Okay, so I prefer with no harem, recommended. Out of the option. Alright, I should introduce myself. Nice guy mode on. Oh hey, Ruby. I waved and looked at Yang. Who might this beautiful lady be? I asked with grace. Ruby pouted. She's my big sis. Yang. She elbowed Yang's waist, who was still eyeing me. Hey, there, cutie. She winked. My name's Yang, and I see you've already met my little sis, Ruby. She started to inspect me even more. I started to act flustered. Calm down, me. No, stop, pants, it's not right. While I looked at the both of them, comparing their faces, yeah, they actually don't look related. It was pretty obvious at the start. But still, I feel like Ruby's dad is in Taiyang. Then again, that's probably just a hoax. Yang saw my whole questioning look and sighed. Half-sisters. I owed. Actually, I have a half-sibling as well. Ruby and Yang both raised an eyebrow. I have a brother, actually no. He's the older one, we both have different dads, but the same mother. She got interested and asked. Oh? Mind if you hit me up with him? Ruby elbowed her waist. I deadpanned, he has a girlfriend. Yang closed her mouth immediately, dropping the topic regarding my brother. Damn. Ruby then started to ask her question. Is he nice? Yeah, he is. I nodded, looking down on the ground with a sad smile. He's usually the pretty chill one, that, and he's a gamer. Raising my head with my fake smile. I can't meet my family anymore while I'm here. This is a heavy responsibility that I'm forced to accept. Ruby's smile widened after that. You two play video games too? I nodded. Yeah. Usually, it's fighting games though. Yang started to get more interested now. Oh? Wanna go for a round after this? She winked at me after saying that. I blushed madly. I got hit on God air I a dash. Ruby started to huff and got in front of us, making an X defense. Why you don't have to answer that, Ace? I nodded and coughed to gain my composure. Aren't you two going to ask why I have a little baby nevermore with me? They both looked at each and immediately saw arrow on my right shoulder. Wait, that's actually real? Yang asked, pointing him. I thought that was just a dash. Arrow cawed, but not violently. He raised his wings and flew on top of my head. Nope, he's real, I said, gently holding him away from my head and showed him to Ruby and Yang. Don't worry if he'll peck you or anything, he's nice. Arrow nodded back, which shocked both sisters but yet excited. Oh, I always wanted to pet one. Ruby exclaimed as she was cooing at Arrow. Wait, he? I smirked. Yeah, it's a dude. I shrugged nervously. I asked a simple question and he simply had to shake his head or nod my questions. Yang raised a brow. Wait, he understands what we're saying? Right now? Both Arrow and I nodded as she flinched from our sync. Whoa! Yang coughed and tapped Ruby so she can turn around to her, putting her hands on her waist and asks. So, how's your first date going, little sis? Ruby sent a deadly stare at Yang. You know, whenever she tries to act mad it's too adorable. You mean since you ditched me? And even worse is I got yelled at for being clumsy. Oh right, I stopped that one moment where Ruby sneezes at the dust and it exploded on her and Weiss. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stay away from stopping little silly moments like those. Yikes, that happened? She said. Ruby glared at her. Yeah, it did. Really? Or are you just being sarcastic? Yang nudging Ruby. She pouts. I'm serious. She then points at me. Ace was there too. Girl, that's not necessary to prove your point. Ha, point. Don't put me into your conversation, girl. Oh well. What Ruby said was true. I nodded. She accidentally tripped over some luggage and got yelled at dash. Yeah, I got yelled at, and I felt really bad. She cut off and squeaked and I just wanted her to stop yelling at me. Weiss was in the background actually, who was going to say something that might scare Ruby. You! Ruby jumped off the ground and hopped into my arms by surprise, mind you, earning a deadly stare from Young. Oh God, it's happening again. Weiss crossed arms. You should have watched where you were going, making a mess with my belongings. I looked at Arrow, who knew what I was hinting and decided to hide inside my black short-sleeve shirt, snuggling beside my neck. Ruby quietly awed as she was getting more cuter than ever. Don't tell Yang I said that. Oh wow, that actually happened? Yang asked. No, shit Sherlock, you know I would love to say it but I'd get my balls grabbed. Okay, not in that way I don't mind, but when it's Yang. It's not pretty, poor Junior. The atmosphere was silent, not before I said something out of my mind. Wow, you're actually not heavy. Wait, what the hell did I just say? Ruby, who I'm still carrying, covered her red chi dash, no ho ho. Oh hell no. How could you have done this to me? Stupid Cupid. And then there's Yang's aura striking me from behind. For some reason so did Weiss. You know, I didn't think I'll get an ass kicking here. I should probably time to drop her off before it gets worse. Anyways, pardon my comment, but off you go, Miss Rose. I gently lowered her to get off of my arms. My arms are sore. Bowing, causing my arms to hurt even more, the pain. I coughed my throat to ease the tension here. Good afternoon, Weiss. How's your first time here in Beacon? Weiss looked at me with a small smile. It was going along perfectly until... She pointed at Ruby. She ruined it. Sigh, things I do for love. Wait, what, love? Ha, you're funny heart. I'm sorry, okay? Ruby said. Ruby gets cut off as Weiss interrupted, showing a poster card. You really want to start making things up to me? Absolutely. Ruby smiled unsurely. Then leave me alone and don't ever speak to me ever again, Weiss said. Ouch, princess. What's up with you? Meh, I'm not going to make that joke because it would be pretty pointless to say in this situation. Yang, please help me, she scratched her hair. Look, it sounds like you two got off on the wrong foot. It's weird to hear the same dialogue from the show, although now, it's pretty realistic now. Yang saying that caused Weiss and Ruby turn their heads to her. Why don't you just start over and try to be friends, okay? Ji Young, that's totally what I was doing to stop this situation from getting worse. Ruby nodded yeah. Great idea, sis. Yeah, sis you go girl, best idea ever. She took a few steps back and took her right arm out. Ah, a handshake, totally how it works to be friends with someone you just recently met and dealt her attitude with for a minute or two. Hello Weiss, I'm Ruby. She said with a smile. Wanna hang out? We can go shopping for school supplies. Alright, she nailed it on the introduction, but when she asked wanna go shopping for school supplies, how? I mean yeah sure later on when we form a team, but still though how is that possible? Also, shake her hand damn it Weiss. Weiss put her hands in the air with a fake smile. Please you're making me hate you more. Yeah, and we can paint our nails, try on clothes dash. Oh hey, there's John, sup best buddy? Talk about cute boys like tall, blonde scraggly over there. She jabbed her left thumb not looking back, at John. And then that's how John falls in love with her, is that how it works? And this nice and cute dashing gentleman over here. John slumped when Weiss said that, who pointed at me. Ha, I'm better cute? Girl I'm handsome what are you saying? Whatever I'll think of something to prove I'm manly. Ruby's expression changed into a shining smile, my heart oh wow, really? Really? If only it was easy Rubes. Then there was a silent pause with the two, Weiss's fake smile changed into a deadpan face. Awkward. No. She reluctantly said. Well, that was going to happen anyway. Weiss crossed her arms looking away at Ruby. Ruby just straight up looked down. Poor girl, Yang why aren't you cheering up your little sis? She was looking elsewhere, so when I mention how not heavy she is and she gets all nervous, you shoot a deadly glare my way? But when she's all gloomy you ignore it. Sigh, I always get the hard ones. And then it's Ajban's cue too. Ahem. There it is. Ajban fixed his throat. I'll keep this brief. He pushes his shade glasses up once said so. Wow, the atmosphere got silent all of a sudden, weird. You have traveled here today in search of knowledge to hone your craft and acquire new skills. And when you have finished, you plan to dedicate your life to the protection of the people. Okay, that's motivating people alright, that's a good thing mind you. But I look among you and all I see is wasted energy in need of purpose, direction. Wow, that shot so many people's hearts, and probably mine as well. Ouch Ajban, you won't no, I'm not a Yandere, I just pretend to be nice, but in the inside, my head wants to explode. You assume knowledge will free you of this, but your time at this school will prove that knowledge can only carry you so far. More like when people die. Ah ha 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 ha. Yeah, I'm pretty cold towards that subject. Oh boy Ruby will be motivated, totally. Poor her, the world is not so great to see once you step outside. It is up to you to take the first step. Yang just waves her hair. I guess the animations and models back in the episodes would tend to go everywhere, but when she did just that. It's pretty eye-catching to see. All smooth and, I want to touch her hair, but I don't want to waste all my lives just for that. Ajban finally done with his speech, starts going I don't know where, but meh. Oh boy, it's her, the fairly lady. Teacher? Check. Has a whip? Check. Pretty stern personality? Check. Where's my tissues? I am so sorry for my dirty mind. Glinda steps in the front start to announce where we're going to sleep. You will gather in the ballroom tonight. Oh, lady, I can go in with Yo. I pinched my cheek a bit, stopping myself from going further in my dirty mind. Tomorrow, your initiation begins. She says. Be ready. Oh, I'm always ready, Glinda, ready to I slapped myself quietly. Good thing no one heard that slap. Although Glinda saw my embarrassing hit to my face. Listen, I'm so sorry, if only I was just as innocent as RWBY, you are dismissed. She finally declares. There goes strike two. Yang puts her arms on her waist again, he seems kind of off. RWBY agreed, it's almost like he wasn't even there. 3, 2, 1. I'm a natural blonde, you know. John pointed at himself, and there he is, folks. Weiss just sighs and pinched the bridge of her nose. Trust me, Weiss, you'll have to get used to it. To be continued.